Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we are going to be going back to Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare again and tackling the question of what happens if you survive the nuke. And by nuke, I mean the one at the end of the mission, Shock and Awe, where after you rescue that downed pilot, you're trying to escape the city, and then all of a sudden the nuke gets set off and your helicopter goes down. It was a very shocking mission, actually, at the time when I played it. Hence the name Shock and Awe, I guess. But, yeah, it's unfortunately after you crash, there's another mission afterwards called Aftermath, where you walk around for a little bit, you see like all the destruction and everything, and then shortly after you drop dead, and that's it for Private Jackson, who you're playing as on this mission. So, what happens if we modded it so that you survive the nuke, and instead of dropping dead, you just don't die? What would happen afterwards? Well, let's take a look and see what happens. So, the reason why you die on this mission actually has nothing to do with, like, being injured or anything, or, like, the radiation or stuff. I mean, like, technically, lore-wise, yeah, that's why you die, but physically speaking, technically speaking, the reason why you die is once the mission starts and you can start walking, the mission is actually on a timer, and once the timer runs out, the game automatically forces you to drop to the ground and then quote-unquote die. But you don't actually die, like, physically, as far as, like, the game is concerned. It just kind of, like, an effect that makes your screen kind of fade away and then ends the mission. But we, all I did was just turn off the timer, and, now we can see what happens if we survive past what the timer would have, ended at. So the first thing I actually just want to mention, I've actually never noticed, like, earlier there when that building collapsed and got blown away. I actually never noticed that before, because every time I've played this mission, as soon as I get out of the helicopter, I always turn around and go this way towards the mushroom cloud in the distance. I've actually never walked in that other direction and saw that building collapse. It has nothing to do with, like, surviving the timer, but I just wanted to point out that because, like, I've actually never noticed that before. It's like I said, I just always go the other direction, so never once in, like, since COD 4 came out have I ever noticed that. But anyways, as you can see, surviving the nuke really actually doesn't do anything. The game does not have any other thing to handle, like, you surviving the nuke. It doesn't have, like, a secondary way to kill you or anything. So really, you just end up limping around the whole game, and you can really explore around. Actually, there's actually quite a lot of places that you can reach by walking, and that you normally could not reach in the regular mission, because the timer will always kill you before you could reach the spots. So it's actually a few interesting things to see. And if we switch to Nuke and just fly around, we can see a few more interesting things outside the map as well, such as those bricks over there that were floating. I'm not sure why there's a few floating bricks just right on the edge of the map there, but it's one of the few other interesting things. And a lot of these buildings actually are enterable. They don't have, like, doors blocking them. They actually have an interior they can go into. And some of them even have, like, furniture inside the interior. Like, the previous building had, like, a table inside. But it's mostly too dark to see inside any of these buildings. So, for all I know, there could be, like, some secret funny message written on the wall or something by the developers as, like, an Easter egg. But we would not be able to see it. So, unfortunately, can't really tell you what's inside the building besides, like, a few things that we could see from the outside. But anyways, this map is actually pretty small. Once we fly out past that edge there, you can see the rest of the map is pretty much nothing. There's no actual ground or anything. So it's that's also not surprising, because, you were never really meant to go anywhere else on this map. You were pretty much just meant to walk around for, like, a minute and then drop dead. But let's take this opportunity to fly out of the map and see if there's any other interesting things out here. So this is actually, the mushroom cloud is actually pretty far out, but you can actually see, like, the rest of it now and what it looks like in its entirety. And it's one of the few things that you actually don't normally get to see from the perspective on the ground when you're limping around, because it's usually obscured by buildings or other terrain in the distance. Now, the most ironic and interesting thing is that if you actually die on this mission, like, if you actually die, as far as, like, the game is technically concerned, like, here, if we fall down to the ground and die from fall damage, if you actually die, the game actually reverts you to the last checkpoint, because you're not supposed to die. And like with any other mission, if you die, you revert to the last checkpoint. But it's ironic because, you know, this game is like it's a scripted quote-unquote death. So if you accelerate that death and you die sooner, then the game actually does not like that. Like, you have to die when the game tells you to die. So if you die sooner, then the game will just revert you to the last checkpoint. And you know, if you can actually somehow pull that off without using mods or anything in game, maybe like find a way to jump off from a high enough place, then yeah, the game would just keep reverting you to the last checkpoint until you like follow its scripting and just die when you're scripted to. Which, you know, like I said earlier, you're technically not actually dying. You're just being forced to prone on the ground, and then, you know, screen effects to make it look like you're dying, and then the game ends. That's pretty much what happens. But yeah, so overall, that's what happens if you survive the nuke, which is pretty much nothing, but it does give you the opportunity to explore around the map and check out places that you normally wouldn't be able to see. But anyways, hopefully you guys did find this to be interesting. If you did, make sure to leave a like, leave your thoughts and comments. Anything else you want me to check out or look into, just let me know. But other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.